life. I was called Adrian after Adrian Heath, the legend of this football club.
The fans, their support to us has been incredible. I think it showed a lot of people that played for our football club actually the real size of our fan base.
He's always going to be an Everton legend, Campbell, I think.
Just to be here with other people feeling the same way as I do, and he was my dad.
Understand what Everton means to me and what I feel about Everton, the People's Club.
The time finally arrives for you to rest. The mother of our football club, always nothing but the best.
There will be a lot of emotion in the stadium. There'll be a lot of emotion with the players as well, but I think more so the emotion will be with the people in the stand, you know, the people that have supported Everton, the people that have passed on their support to other generations to follow this great football club, and the memories that have been made here as families.
I've got my brother-in-law yesterday, he's a mad Evertonian, he said I'd be crying my eyes out like a kid. And I understand that with the emotions people have with the ground and, you know, the club itself. It's just a fantastic club to work for, but I'm not, Mrs knows that as well, and the kids all know that. I'm not really an emotional person.
If you guys can remember which of the two far ones you're at, and then let's all start making our way out.
If I ask Kevin Sheedy a question, you'll always say, oh, you had good players around you, or there was a bit of luck on your side. In his day, he went on to play in World Cups. He was an incredible player, an incredible...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
World Cup's a football tournament.
Oh, yeah. I gather that. I've seen you on telly. And you don't look any quicker. When I came here, I worked out very early on. If you work hard, they like you. You give everything every single week, and you've got a bit of talent. They absolutely love you. To make it here is 10 times harder than to make it anywhere. I love playing at Goodison Park. The stadium's great. It's what goes into the ground, and it's the people have created the history here. The only thing that makes it special is the people. And you hope that we can galvanise that in the new ground where people make, you know, they're friends very quickly with the people around them. They've all got something in common because they love the club.
Neville Southall out of the Everton dressing room, well ahead of his colleagues.
I don't go out the way to do anything. I just do what I feel I have to do, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. This game we were playing, I wasn't playing very well. We went in, it was all kicking off, and I thought I need to clear my head, so I come and sat by the post. People thought it was a protest, but it was never a protest. I did better second half, so for me it was just about clearing my head, and that was it, really.
The atmosphere in Goodison Park is hard to put into a sentence. It's just raw. When Damari crossed that ball for Dominic, the third goal was when that went in. I've not really heard too much noise like that here before. You've got 40,000 people who absolutely idolise and love their football club and aren't just coming for a day out. It's an incredible noise it can bring, and that's what it's like, just electric when the ball goes in the back of the net. The fans, their support to us has been incredible. I think it showed a lot of people that played for our football club actually the real size of our fan base. Very sad to say goodbye to Goodison Park. This is all I've ever known as well, like, you know, as an Everton player, and look at all these seats as well, like these will be full of supporters on that Southampton game. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sad faces, of course.
The old traditional ones like Howard's and Colin, they like the pitch nice and short, wet, plenty of slick on it. Yeah. Some of these continental managers, they like a bit more density to the pitch, so it has to be a bit longer, a bit more, you know, robust that way. They like a longer grass on the pitch. Different managers, even different times of year. You know, beginning of the season, they want to cut short. If they're not playing too well, they want a little bit longer. They've got a few injuries. You know, you work with them. As I say, it's our own ground, so we pick and choose what we're doing within the parameter of the Premier League.
I'm looking at main structures and power, and all the lights are on, and there's nothing hanging down that's going to cause any issues. The door's missing off that box, which needs to be in place. The issue with these, there's some in the north, family enclosures, some in the south, is that they use these for the presentation positions pre-match. And once they've done the presentation positions, we just need to ensure they put the door back on that unit, because there's live power there once they're in. We'll come back and check that later on. Just that this is an area of some old cladding here that went in 1971. We've had some corrosion issues over the years with this, and some of the edge flashing has fallen off previously. Okay, thank you. Bye. One of the issues we have with the coach welcome today is all the flares they set off on Goodison Road. All our air systems draw in external air from Goodison Road in all the corporate areas. So we draw in all that smoke and activate all the fire alarm systems. Find the right key to start the escalators. So as I said, from a safety angle, we have to start the top one first, so that if one does fail, people don't get trapped on the landings.
We had Chang one year. That was one of our main sponsors. I come with an idea of doing a palm tree for the last game of the season. So I worked it out, drew it on a graph paper, and then I measured it all off. And that following week, I did a pattern on the pitch with the palm trees. The two lads didn't like it because it's all hand cutting, individual hand cutting. So every day for 7 days we were hand cutting this palm tree in the pitch. So it didn't go down too well, but it just did stand out quite well.
Come to this position, you have the view around Gladys Street and Bullens Road. You can check any of the structures on the roof, floodlight gear, and any of the front fascia panels on the Gladys Street. From here we've got a view of the structure of the roof on the park stand. Just a quick visual check of all the floodlights on the front. Up here there's 3,700 wooden seats. When you play in UEFA competitions, the UEFA ruling is that any areas that have got wooden seats you can't open to spectators. Well, the wooden, there's potential for them to go on fire. Some of the wooden seats are much more stronger and harder wearing than the plastic ones. We did a demonstration for him where we got a blow lamp and melted one of the plastic seats fairly quickly, and we couldn't get one of the wooden seats to basically ignite and turn into flame.
I had this thought of doing circles. Walter Smith was the manager then. It's harder to do circles because you've got to keep it within a certain style then, see. So when you do big blocks, it's easy this way. We finished cutting the pitch in the morning time, Mark, so I thought it looked good, nice on it. And then Walter Smith come on the pitch and just gave me the daggers. He pulled me over to one side. He said, never do circles again. He said, I don't like circles. I said, never do that again. I get itchy feet, so I practice things on my own garden. So I do different techniques and everything like that. The missus is just distraught sometimes when she's in the garden. So I rip the garden, the front garden up and also the back garden up. So it's just like a mud bath by about March.
You don't get up at 6 in the morning to do your garden, do you?
Funny enough, I picked the lads up this morning to bring them in early and then see. But I was up about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was watering my front garden before I come out. Because it's going to be a long day today. The missus just looks out the window, just shakes her head and goes back to bed.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is our match day control and match day staff. This is our closed circuit television system. We see all areas of the stadium inside and out in the seating bowl, cameras.
You're not to get into Wimslow already.
Are they? And all the turnstile areas outside, main reception areas on the corporate areas. So we can view the team coach arrivals here. Changed a little bit now that we're going to keep the stadium and Everton women are going to play here. After today we would have just walked away really, which would have been very difficult, but yeah, so just relief once it's all over really and hope that it goes really well.
Come on, you blue boys!
He knows what's going on, doesn't he?
Just do that for me!
It's a grand old team to play for! It's a grand old team to score!
When I first arrived at Everton, Bill Kenwright and all the people, Sir Philip Carter, were looking for a new site to see if we could move from Goodison. And I'll tell you honestly, I was saying, don't want to move from Goodison. It was great for getting results, intimidating stadium. We've had some brilliant days, you know, Wayne Rooney's goal here against Arsenal, and he was just coming on the scene really.
Fancies his chances. Oh, brilliant goal! A brilliant goal! Remember the name, Wayne Rooney.
I wanted to score before I was 17, and I always remember obviously the celebration of the goal and with your teammates and the fans, but I always remember going back into the dressing room, and I think a lot of the fans stayed behind, and you could feel it, you could feel the place vibrating and shaking.
I've had great moments. Duncan Ferguson scored a goal to beat Manchester United.
If you're an Everton centre forward, what you want to do, score a great winning goal at the Gladys Street end with your head, and he did it twice against Manchester United in really important games. Joe said he was a legend before he was a player, and it's stuff like that that makes him an Everton legend, especially for younger supporters, perhaps have not seen us, dare I say, win titles. You can understand why he has been worshipped so much. It's the number 9 jersey is sort of rubber stamp that importance of it, but strikers, I think, of old, you know, if you read back the old stuff, there's always been something about Everton. After Dean, we've mentioned, you know, Tommy Lawton was in some respects, I would say the perfect number 9. In the more rounded player than what Dixie Dean was, and you get like Dave Hickson, I suppose, for is in the, you know, up until the 60s is the Everton number 9, isn't he really?
Yeah, Hickson, the cannonball kid, he was like a beacon, wasn't he, in those hard times.
When I watched him as a boy, and I didn't realise that somewhere down the line I'd actually play against him.
He wasn't playing for Everton at the time.
No, we organised this game, Liverpool Echo, totally amateur, totally hopeless, against a team of Everton and Liverpool All-Stars. Davy Hickson was playing up front, and I was playing centre half. I just went to leap high, hopefully above my hero, and suddenly somebody grabbed hold of my shirt, held me down, rose about 4 feet above me and bulleted this header into the back of the net. It was Davy Hickson, Dirty Dave.
Did you feel like cheering though, Ken? That's a big question.
You know, normally in that you'd be all over the referee.
Yeah.
And I just turned around and shook his hand and said, Davy, you've made me proud today. Thank you.
Young.
I remember Graham Sharp saying to me one day, just how good was Alex Young? But all I could say to Sharpie was that when you were sitting in the stand as a fan and he dropped his shoulder and he went past two players who were not there and he curled the ball into the corner of the net, the crowd went crazy. You know, you'd actually see grown men cry with kind of emotion.
Yeah. You then have a couple of good, you know, Fred Pickering was obviously he scored a lot of goals in the mid-60s. We then get to one of the great number 9s in Everton history. Homegrown talent, Everton, you know, one of the all-time great Evertonians, Joe Royle.
And the thing with Royle, Joe Royle, it's again like Dean and Lawton, he was winning the title when he was still only just sort of turning
20,
into his 20s.
Yeah.
So again, another prodigy.
I read somewhere once, he played sort of 200 games for us by the time he was 22.
2 up. Royal chasing. A kick from Roberts.
Bob Latchford bought for a British record fee of 350,000.
We even sacrificed Howard Kendall.
Bob's definitive goal was the near post and he'd dive in, you know, be Dave Thomas or Ronnie Goodless.
Timing, anticipation, a bit like Lineker, a different kind of player, just being in the right place at the right time.
But at a time when heroes were in short supply, Bob really fitted in, didn't he?
Can I just remind you that Bob Latchford could walk on water,
he would,
according to the famous chant.
Possibly, you know, the best centre forward that I've seen at the club in my time, Graham Sharp. The goal here against Spurs in January 1982 at the Park End is probably one of the two best goals I've ever seen on the ground. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Keith has pushed forward. Sharp. Oh my goodness!
You ask Howard Kendall, Graham Sharp's greatest talent. Yes, it was scoring. He did have an incredible shot on him. Howard used to say he's the best target man in the game.
Yeah. The Sharp's partnership that I think we remember the most is one of the other great number 9s, or possibly number 9s, depends what shirt he was wearing, is Andy Gray. He obviously came here, Gray, when Howard was struggling in '83.
Sitting on the Echo Sports desk one morning and the phone rang and I picked it up and the guy said, I'm on Goodison Road actually. He said, there's a little newsagent's opposite the stadium. And he said, you know what, I can swear I've just seen Andy Gray in there. I rang Jim Greenwood, Everton chief executive. I had a fantastic relationship with him. If I asked him a difficult question and he didn't answer me, I knew what the answer was. So I said, somebody just rang in, Jim, and said that Andy Gray's in the newsagents opposite Goodison Park. You signing Andy Gray today? Total silence. Thank you, Jim, I said. Back page exclusive, Andy Gray signs for Everton.
And when he did score goals, they were always big goals.
Stevens with another testing long throw, Faf lost it! A goal! Andy Gray!
He implemented his will on games and changed the course of games just by his own force of personality, or he'd do something. That Sunderland game's a prime example, because we're getting beat 1-0. By half-time, it's 2-1, and Andy scored one great diving header, and probably another diving header that was even better, I think.
To Stephen. Gray's there again! Oh, I say!
You know, we say, like, Dixie Dean's career, a great player, but, you know, just look at his stats, and you know that he was a great player. With Andy, it's not, is it? He was a great influence, great player. It's the stats, it's the impact of the dressing room. Gary Lineker was here for the season, scored 40 goals. Possibly some would say so too early if they could have. Rob, you've always had said this, haven't you?
I think people say that we changed our style, and we did, but if Lineker had stayed beyond 86, I have little doubt we'd have won more than one more title. By the late 90s, we were crying out for a striker when Walter Smith in his first season there.
Yeah.
We seem to be staring relegation in the...
Are you thinking anybody in particular there about that?
Maybe we needed to bring in another player on loan to wear the number 9 shirt.
Kevin Campbell comes on loan for us with 8 games left of the season and scores 9 goals. And it's a super Kev, isn't it, really?
Don Hutchison. Campbell in here looking for the hat-trick, and he'll get it. Everton sealing safety in style. He to me, and obviously it's tragic news that he passed away, he's always going to be an Everton legend, Campbell, I think.
It was very moving here on the day after, you know, when we knew that he died.
Yeah.
And that's what he meant to the fans.
You'd see him mobbed. He would sometimes come here in the Winslow, wouldn't he, or he'd be on Goodison Road, and the fans would be mobbing him.
Great strikers and talismanic strikers are very difficult to find, aren't they? One who definitely fills that category as being a great striker, certainly Everton, was Romelu Lukaku. A combination of a great Everton number 9 performance, Goodison under lights, Chelsea in the FA Cup in February 2016 is one of the great striking performances.
Lukaku shows great strength there though, and goes on. It's Lukaku!
Everton number 9 of recent vintage, somebody who came to the club, but you think of him just as being bred by Everton, and that's obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Ken, what do you want? Header, leaping header at the Gladys Street end against Liverpool. That's what you want to do if you're an Everton striker, isn't it?
Well, it fills, if you're an Everton striker, that fills your heart with joy.
Far post header, and Goodison just went wild. Goodison was rocking that night. We are starting to see some big number 9s coming back, so I do hope that there is some time at our new stadium somebody else will sort of fulfil that role.
I think my dad would have loved every minute of this. I think he'd have tried to take it all in because he genuinely loved this place. The place made him feel special, made him feel like a king.
The fact that he's got a stand named after him. We have this fantastic statue of the Holy Trinity outside the stadium. This place was a second home for him. And as much as we've got to move on, right, we need to take advantage of all the great things that come with the new stadium. It'll be heart-wrenching to say goodbye to this stadium, and I wish he was here to be able to see all of this.
He loved this place and he wanted it forever. You know, so sad when he left, but if he was here today, I'm sure he'd have been extremely emotional. I'm sure he'd have been just full of love and so much pride in having played his part in the history of this football club.
It's hugely emotional for him. He lived in the streets around here when he was really young. He came here with his dad, he came here with his granddad and his brother, and then obviously he got to play here, coach here and manage here. How many people can say that?
You think about all the great players that have pulled on a royal blue jersey over the years, yet there's only 4 immortalised with statues outside the stadium, 3 with the Holy Trinity, and it's just surreal, overwhelming. And it fills us full of pride that he's been given this accolade by the club, both in terms of the statue but also the naming of the stand. It's just incredible. As a son, couldn't be prouder.
It's been our whole life, hasn't it? Everything, Belfield, Goodison. We've spent so many years here. It's just everything, really. Yes, yeah. And with Dad saying we're so happy now as a family, down to grandchildren, that we're staying at Goodison in a form and onto something new at Bramley Moor.
Neil Sassersmith's the optimum. It's how he lived his whole life. It's how he brought us up as a family. He always taught us, you work hard, you do the best you can, you be the best people that you can. And I think that's what he was like with the players. And I think he shouted at them a little bit more than us. But
because he loved them as well.
The sons and daughter.
Oh! Hello.
Does this room excite you? Because there's a lot of blokes in there that you're Wayne Rooney, but...
Oh, 100%. If my dad was here, it excited me even more, but I think for the first day of my life, I was called Adrian after Adrian Heath. My brother, his name's Graham after Graham Sharp, and our family are just massive Evertonians, and so to be in there and see, some of the legends of this football club, the lads from the 80s are still the iconic players for Everton, so to be in the company of them is special.
Everton youth versus Nottingham Forest youth.
I saw that.
And he brought it down on his chest, turned round and volleyed it from the centre circle. It was absolutely incredible. Remember the name. We already all knew the name.
And I think Dad told Walter Smith, or Walter asked Dad, what do you reckon? Do you think he can play in the first team? He was like, he's better than most of them that you've got, being honest.
Everton is part of my DNA, so I'm very, very fortunate to have had the privilege of playing for Everton Football Club. One of the best moments for me, I think the Newcastle game at home, because it gave a feeling to the fans that they didn't have for a very long time.
And Everton are closing in on 3 points and closing in on the Champions League.
I'm forever grateful. I think as much as it means to me, I think it means just as much to the fans, because it's more than just a place of playing football. It's a home, it's a place of worship, like being a religion for the Blues, and I suppose that really grew on me over the years, and that's the reason why I'm back here today, because it's something that I promised I would never miss.
Tim Cahill probably represented every single fan standing behind the goal, because he acted like a fan, didn't he?
He loved it.
And he bought into totally to the Albali once Everton's touch, nothing else is the same. And in fairness, the whole of that team did.
Yeah.
They mightn't have been the greatest team in the world, but they all worked into that ethos.
Hiya, how are you, big man?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, fine.
You alright? Yeah, good.
New stadium to me.
It was on £12 and we got a £5 appearance money. So I'm only on 17 quid, so they get 30 quid.
Oh,
on
massive.
Top. Yeah, you thought you died and woke up in heaven, It was all cash,
With that little kangaroo, isn't it? Right, silly lads. Let's keep on moving,
I can't thank the fans enough. I can't thank the fans that are not going to be there, the players that are not going to be there, the people that are not with us, that played a massive part in the history of Everton Football Club. Today will be a celebration, and it'll be great for everyone to embrace it, and I'm just happy to be a little speck in the history.
going back to, you know, moving over here first and making my home debut here, my first game at Goodison Park against Tottenham Hotspur, for me will always be a special memory. That's all I wanted to do, is play for this football club.
Stand by for Operation Farewell Goodison. Stand by for Operation Farewell Goodison.
Yes, that's why they call us the Blues. Time on my hands, the big time spent with you.
And as an Evertonian, I could not be more proud to be with you this afternoon.
They understand what Everton means to me and what I feel about Everton. I'm back now and I would have to say the People's Club.
Jordan Pickford's dynamite.
Still more to do. I can still smell Goodison Park from 1966. I can still hear the noise. It was deafening.
I was born 1.5 miles away from this stadium, this great stadium, and on match days, you know, I could hear the roar of the crowd from Goodison. And it was almost like a magnet, you know, willing me to become one of the faithful.
I vividly remember this. What stays with me is actually coming to the ground and going into the ground for the first time, because we'd had black and white television like most people then in the early 70s, and just seeing the first time I've seen a game in colour.
For me, it's the connection to family and those sort of memories that it's almost like a second home, somewhere you've been with your parents, siblings, and just those memories that you keep.
Goodison is
so many good things about it, but it's Evertonians that make Everton, and I'm sure that we can take that feeling with us to the new stadium.
Every living Evertonian will always have in their hearts this place. We're always going to be the Goodison gang.
My father was a toffee. He gave it me from birth. I'm standing here before you now, and it's the greatest thing on earth. We give it to our children, we pass it to our friends, and just like sticky toffees, we'll be sticking to the end. The move across the park was the catalyst, the spark. This stadium they were building was being made to make its mark. As she rose above the tree line, double-decker, all four sides, in a city full of beauty, she'd be the belle of Merseyside. My first ever glimpse of the new main stand was from in Stanley Park holding my granddad's hand. I was smitten, awestruck, part of the brand. I'd been bitten by a bug that I didn't understand. Huge oak doors with marble surround announced the threshold to somewhere profound. The lights, the grass, a wall of sound. Rocks the foundations of the first football ground. The Holy Trinity, spraying the passes. Everton Football Club, nil status. St Luke's, the Gladys, the crossbeam design, an icon of football, retained for all time. A stunner, a goddess, that beautiful face. Leach's Mona Lisa, the very first grace. A setting fit for Shakespeare. The audience I must impart. There to watch the School of Science become the Bachelors of Arts. Evertonians through the ages took you to their core. And whatever the results were, kept coming back for more. Held our hands throughout our history, and yourself had to endure when the Gladys Street was bombed in the Second World War. Boxing, baseball, the Jules Rimet, the Giants, the White Sox, the great Pelé. A record of achievement to which I tip my hat. A World Cup semi-final, they'll never sing that. Hand-knitted bar scarves, homemade rosettes, fathers in overcoats queuing for bets. The Blue House, the Winslow, the Oak and the Brick, the sound of the turnstiles, two in a clip. There's a girl in a blue dress giving out sweets. It's a theme of my life. It's made me complete. Eccles cakes, Bovril, lava-filled pies, which scorched your tongue and soaked your eyes. Many years later, when skies were grey, we yearned for a hero, and one came our way.
Howard Kendall was introduced as Everton's new manager.
He made the fans see and made everyone say, the Toffees are winning it, Howard's way. Young seems to hover in the evening mist, almost like gravity doesn't exist. The electronic scoreboard now to Bramley Moor Dock. Lads standing on railings around the Littlewoods clock. The memories flash by like thousands of pics. Big Neville Southall between the sticks. A symphony of toffees, a rhapsody in blue, all here to have a party, especially for you. One last time, let's go out with a bang, warm in the embrace of your Goodison gang. The juxtaposition of this place and leaving incites in me an emotion that's closest to grieving. I felt you were mine, but you belong to us all. To Hickson, to Lions, to Cale, to Ball.
Everton is part of my DNA. I'm very, very fortunate to have had the privilege of playing for Everton Football Club.
In future days, we shall all recall that you were the fairest of them all. The time finally arrives for you to rest. The mother of our football club, always nothing but the best. Stop the clocks, call the poets, let the bells ring aloud. To have been your sons and daughters gave a life of being proud. At this moment of separation, and if you will allow, reluctantly we leave you all together now.